Still chuckling. Faster walk, faster walk. That's what he needs. Because I've always coached been that nice, controlled, condensed.
Good. Let her trot across the diagonal of the ring, changing direction. Really good with your hands. It's really good with the length of your reins like that. You tell her the straight line. When you get to the end of the ring, then it's a square corner turning. Planning your turn, square corner and straight. So you feel you still ride good ends of the ring. You go all the way to the end. It's just on the long side you make sure she's not up against the wall. Good. Trot across the diagonal again. Just fingers closed on the rein. Just when she gives you that little bit of resistance, when she's just getting a little fussy against your hand, just close your fingers. We'll make a nice 15-meter circle at this end. Circling here at this end. Good. One more circle. Long leg into the ankle, into the heel. Okay, across the diagonal again. When you get to the far end, a 15-meter circle at the far end. Another circle. So she's just a little bit avoiding, fully engaging, fully balancing. You just make another circle, just waiting for her to balance. And now a 10-meter circle. Just nice, round, 10-meter circle. She didn't want to balance and coordinate on a 15-meter circle. Now we're just making her do a 10-meter. And now out around the outside again. Take a big, deep breath of air. Stretch up tall, back flat, shoulder square. Circle at this end. And then a 10-meter circle, and then a 5-meter circle. Good. Back to a 10-meter circle, and then a 15-meter circle. And as you get out around the half of the ring, a really big, strong trot in a big circle. Just feeling those reins, feeling the bit. Across the diagonal of the ring again, keeping that trot. Just feeling your hands, feeling the bit, feeling her mouth. Fingers closed. Okay, an active walk. Walking straight, walking active, away from the wall. In a second, you're going to canter. So while she's walking, you're getting her listening, getting her prepared to go into the canter. When you're ready, go ahead and canter. Good. All the way around the outside. Good. Good. Around this end and then across the diagonal of the ring, across the diagonal, trotting, making a simple change. So trotting, simple change. Nice strong canter around the outside. Feel her loosening up, stretching out. Good. Just circling there, circling. A nice solid, strong outside leg. A 10-meter circle. And then a 5-meter circle. After a 5-meter circle, lengthening around the outside. Just a real noticeable lengthen. At this end, circling. 15 meters, then 10 meters, then 5 meters. And again, after 5 meters, then lengthening around the outside. Lengthening, she listens to your leg, she goes forward. Across the diagonal, a simple change through the trot. Fingers closed, feel the rein, feel the bit. And again, down the long side, big forward, strong stride. Circle at the end, 15, then 10, then 5. As you finish the 5-meter circle, then lengthening down the long side. Good over there? That's a better canter. One more time at this end, circling. 15, 10, 5, coming out of the small circle, lengthening, listening to your leg, going forward when you ask. Okay, when you're ready, a trot transition. Back into the canter. And trotting. And again, canter. Check your lead there. Simple change, that's it. Trotting, circling, and one more time cantering. And trotting. Okay, let her walk and give her a pat. Just at the end there, as you asked her to trot, did you feel her do something with her hind end? So she was cantering on the right lead, and then as you went to say trot, she kind of collapsed, her hind end collapsed, and she stopped using her hind end. So it's kind of like she thought, okay, let's trot, I'm done, and she just fell into the trot rather than keep using her muscles and stay balanced. And stay balanced so that as she steps, it's a balanced trot transition. Just let her huff and puff a little bit there. And so when she does that, then a few canter trot transitions, just making sure when you ask her to pick up the right lead, she picks it up. When you ask her to come back into the trot, she stays balanced. That one time she picked up the wrong lead too. Okay, go ahead and gather your reins back up. She's listening to your leg as you pick up your reins. You notice she picked your reins up and she just tried, basically her engine stalled. She said, I don't have to listen to your leg if you're going to hold the reins. But she has to listen to both at the same time. Leg and hand, not one, not the other. That's it. Horses are always trying to get the rider to compromise, to settle, to allow them to do less. And you're saying, no, I have to listen. You have to listen to my leg. I have to hold the reins. When you're ready, a sitting trot. Down this long side, a little hunches in. So your outside leg touches her. Her hips move a little bit to the inside. So you want to see a noticeable reaction. So your right leg touches her. Her hind end, her hip, her tail moves towards me. That's it there. That's the first couple steps she did. Because on the first long side, there was no reaction. Right here, 5-meter circle. Just around this green jump right here. And haunches in. Right there, 5-meter circle. Think of the haunches in, so similar to the 5-meter circle. In this corner, around this pole on the ground, a small circle. Haunches in, small circle around the 2 red and white poles. And then haunches in down the rail, small circle around the last pole. That's it. Posting trot now. And walking. And just go ahead and let her walk. Walking. Listening to your leg, listening to your hand. On the long side, walking on the next long side. walking a little hunches in. So you touch her with your right leg. You have to know that she's felt it, that she's reacted. A little small circle there. Keep those eyes up. Another small circle. Feel she's walking as she circles. Little bit as you started circling, she stopped walking. And there, another small circle. Think of an inside bend. Small circle, inside bend. Now on this next long side, as you turn, as you get to the long side, small circle in the walk. As you finish your small circle, canter. So right here, small circle. She's listening, working, and now canter. And back to the walk. Right there, small circle. And canter. That's better. And again, walking. And just walking a small circle. And again, finishing it, canter. Very good. Good. Canter around the end, across the diagonal, and a lead change. When you're ready, walking. On the long side, walking, a little hunches in. Seeing how does she listen to your left leg. Small circle. So the next step is that once they react to your leg, then you need to get them reacting to your leg while they're listening to your hand. Right now, when you touch her with the leg, she just does whatever she wants with her head and neck. We eventually want to be able to move her haunch and maintain the bend at the same time. So right here, a small circle. So you kind of want to be able to have exactly that bend, that head and neck, and then a hunches in. Outside leg with that head and neck. So walk down the rail, hunches in the walk. Outside leg, right bend, right rein, circle. So you have to coordinate your leg and your hand. Good. And continuing down the rail, walking hunches in. So she's walking forward, not dawdling, not stalling. Right rein, left leg, hunches in. Little right bend, left leg, right bend, inside bend. Circling. And you're going to come out of the circle, canter. And canter. Good. And so that just a little bit shows you there. You asked her to canter. There's no reaction. Put the whip in your outside hand so that when you spank her, she's understanding she's being spanked on the left side for ignoring the left leg. Walk and circle. And come out in the canter. Gallop, gallop, gallop. Collecting and walking. Walking and circling. And come out of the circle, cantering. And a sitting trot. And walk. And give her a pat and just let her walk a minute. So you feel just doing little things like that make her listen to your hand and leg. So you just are creating, giving her little jobs to do. Make a small circle, pick up the canter. Make a small circle, bend, listen to my hand. Make a small circle, walking, pushing forward, bending, so that her reactions get faster. Because they have to do everything when you ask, not when they feel like it. And so picking up the canter, going forward, lengthening, shortening, turning, steering, when the more those get exact and precise, the better. So she was a little hesitant, little lazy, little late the first time on the right, and then she got a lot better quickly. So let's long canter. We'll go back and forth over this X. Out of the turn, straight, canter away. Long canter, straight, turn and canter away. So kind of like a warm-up jump. One single jump, loosening her up, getting her listening, getting her cantering. So an even, solid canter. Sit tall, stay tall with your body. That outside leg, circling, suppling, and then walk and reverse. So the other direction over it, and then a big circle at the other end of the ring. And yeah, so left lead, corner, jump it going that way, and then circle and walk at the other end. Good, that outside leg, circling. 10 meters, 5 meters. And then around the outside, cantering. And walking. So just like when you were walking the small circles, cantering the small circles, they kind of make her have to bend and give and her body rather than just a big circle, rather than just around the outside. When she digs in and turns, whether she's walking or cantering, she has to push with her hind end. So when you're on the right lead, she has to listen to your left leg and keep her hind end pushing and powering. Hold on 1 second. So we're just raising the X part of it. The green vertical is still the same height, but the X is higher. If she jumps right in the middle, it's the same height. If she drifts, if she's shifting, drifting left or right, it's a lot higher. Once each direction again, go ahead. Good. Smaller, spiral that circle, smaller, 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 and then lengthen down the long side. Okay, let her walk. Good. And go ahead and jump the other direction. Good. Circling. And trotting. There, and that's what we were after. That time she did a lead change onto the right lead for you. Let her walk and give her a pat. Because sometimes, again, just in her hind end, in her hips, sometimes she'd rather swing her hip out than bring it up underneath her. So those small little spiral circles kind of made her have to bend and made her have to get her body working and coordinating. And that time was the first time, finally, she just went, oh, okay, I can do it. Because she can do it fine in the small circles. She just has to put that effort in when she's cantering, when she's changing, when she's jumping. But it's a little bit, you have to, in the flat work, in her fitness, get her using those parts of her body so that she does get stronger and fitter and more supple. Right now, she just kind of sometimes says, oh, I can't do that. My body doesn't do that. But she can, she just doesn't know it. One more time, each direction. Spiraling, smaller, smaller. Spiraling it larger, galloping. Larger, lengthening, gradually larger, faster. And around the outside, galloping. Okay, let her walk. So now jump that back the other direction. Circle, spiraling in the corner, then go ahead down the long side, and then we're going to continue around and we're going to canter down this side. You're going to come over the pole, one stride, jump this oxer, 3 strides, jump the next oxer, land 1 stride over the next pole. So just the same canter, just as you've been doing over there on the X. Okay, now down the long side, and just exactly the way you've ridden this X vertical, 1, 3, 1. Circling, circling, spiraling down, and come out of it, gallop down the side. When you get to the end, you can walk. So now, as you gallop, you have to keep thinking about the right lead, thinking about the lead you're on. Galloped, and then at the end, as you got prepared to walk, you were thinking about bringing her back, and she cheated and went on the wrong lead. So as you say come back, keep your left leg, keep telling her to stay on that lead. Very good, down this side. Let her catch her breath a second. So you feel as that part of her body, as she starts to use it, it just increases her ability, increases her length of her stride, increases her ability to stretch. So out of the corner, over the X, or out of the end, down the 1, 3, 1. So X vertical, end of the ring, 1, 3, 1, and then spiral, go down, and just spiral here in this area here, spiral down, and then gallop away. So out of the turn, green vertical, 1, 3, 1, spiraling here. And just in this little area here, spiraling. Good. I would make 2, 3, even 4 small circles. So in this area, a couple circles before you go out wide. So just come and canter a couple circles right here. So come right up to me. So basically half the width of the ring is 10 meters. So that's a 10-meter circle, then a 7-meter circle, a 5-meter circle, and then you can gallop around the outside. Faster, faster. Gallop, gallop, gallop. Okay, let her walk and catch her breath. Canter, you lost your lead again in the transition. As you bring her back, trotting or walking, ride the right lead, keep your left leg, collecting, trotting, circling, still lost it there. Cantering, big circle, trotting. That's it. One more time. Big circle, canter, and trot. Okay, walk and give her a pat. You feel when it happens? Because it's a little bit, it's just a little bit, it's like an engine that it just slips, it loses a little impulsion, loses a little power, just for 1 second, for one footstep, for one stride. Now, as you feel, she listened to your leg at the oxer when you said, come on. She did, but it was work, wasn't it? She did it, she got the 3 strides, she did have to stretch a little bit, but the difference, the key there was she listened to your leg. When you told her it was time to stretch, she did. She didn't hesitate. She didn't question. As if she had have ignored you, even for a fraction of a second, then, oh no, she ignored you. Now it's a long 3 strides. She listened to you. It was an easy 3 strides. It's only easy because you're working hard, you're riding hard, and she's listening. One more time that same direction, and then we're going to reverse. So out of the corner, X vertical, down the 1, 3, 1, the same way. One more time. There, that's a super canter. So, didn't have any steering there, did you? So you turned and then cut the corner a little bit. Start again at the beginning. That was your best canter all day at this X vertical. No, carry on. Circling. And trotting. Okay, walk and a pat. So you feel it's the first time, finally, you've got to the point where you actually almost have too much canter. So that's a good thing, because that means you can keep the same leg, you can keep that same impulsion, and then you can be a little bit more patient with your hand, with your body, with your eye, so you don't have to ride quite as hard, quite as strong. But it's a good sign. It's the first time that you've had too much canter. And she's not used to jumping with too much canter. She's like, what? How come I don't get to pause and then grunt and groan and stretch? She got there and, oh, everything happened faster. Then you feel, even when you land and go around the end approaching the oxer, she's actually moving. She's actually going. So you're kind of going, oh, it's like a speedometer on a car. You just think, imagine the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. So you'd maybe say you were at 60 at this jump. You weren't too fast. You were a little bit strong, but not too strong. But then around the corner towards the oxer, you got going at 70 kilometers an hour. The last time I saw you, you were turning, you were at 30 kilometers an hour. So it's a big change, big improvement. That's a good sign. So now you're like, oh, I just need to be at 50. If you're thinking of gears, and imagine 5 gears, first gear, second gear, third gear. If you just canter ride around in third gear, you're going to be just fine. And usually she's in first or second gear, and that last jump and here she was in fourth gear. But like I say, seeing her and you in fourth gear is a good thing. Now we're going to switch direction. Because now once you get to that point where you've got enough horse, enough canter, enough impulsion, because it's impulsion we're after, not speed. When you have impulsion and your horses together and cantering, it's not actual speed, it's energy. So you have bottled energy. So we're going to canter and go out of the corner over the X, the same direction, just to jump that one again. And then you can just nicely canter around the end, across the diagonal, lead change, and then go 1, 3, 1 this way. So I'm just switching the poles, so it's exactly the same 1, 3, 1. So cantering the X vertical, and then just think 50 kilometers an hour, third gear. So it's good that she's considering going in fourth gear. That's much better problem to have of having too much horse than having her in first or second gear going 30 kilometers an hour. So it's just figuring out, realizing, having that speedometer in your head, feeling, learning the feel of the different types of canter. Go ahead. It's okay. Eyes up, shoulder. Give her one spank and then come around to it. Eyes up, shoulder. So she hit it hard last time. Okay, now just walk there, reverse, and come back the other direction over it. She has to figure out what to do. You keep your leg, you sit up tall. She's the one that has to pick up her toes. Little bit, little twist. So that's where she ends up hitting it when there's a little twist. You don't need to do anything different the other direction once. So we'll just get her jumping this one jump a little better before we go to the 1, 3, 1. Eyes up, shoulder. Remember, encouraging her by tipping, by pumping your body doesn't help. Sit tall, shoulder back, leg, solid leg. Good. Now, what did you feel there? What happened to your canter? Yeah, and remember, you'd be better off at going too much. You'd be better off in fourth gear than in first gear. Right now, you're a little stuck in first gear. She says, I can't jump in first gear. That's too big to jump from such a weak canter. Jump it the other direction. So no matter what you think, you have to have strong leg. That's it. Give her a pat and let her walk. So you realize how strong your leg has to be as the jumps get bigger. That's why it's so important your leg is in position, which it is. It's very noticeably in a better, stronger, more stable, more secure position, because when she goes to jump, you feel she's setting up, and then she's putting everything into it. And if she doesn't feel a solid leg supporting her, she goes, you're not with me. You're not with me. You don't really want to jump this. When she feels that strong leg, then she says, oh, okay, you're with me. You're with me. Okay, I'll give it everything I've got. Do that again, same direction. So same direction over it. Now I'm just going to drop it down once just to make it easy for her, because she tried hard. She was a good girl. So jump it, around the ring, lead change, and then the oxers. So just cantering across the diagonal anywhere, a lead change, a good canter. And you feel, again, no matter what you may think, your leg has to stay working. Too weak, isn't it? Find third gear, not first gear. Come around that corner, cluck. Come around that turn, cluck, and keep your leg. Good. Now she's going to the bathroom there. Canter. She has to go to the bathroom and keep working. Okay, hold on a second. So does she feel tired or does she feel stubborn? Or both? Bit of both? And that's what happens when they get tired. Then they're saying, I don't have the energy to give that extra effort. Then that makes them get a little bit stubborn. So catch your green X, green and white X vertical once, and then come around through here.
Which way?
Doesn't matter, either way on the green and white X. Just give her one jump to get started. That's it. Again, just keep that leg, keep that shoulder, not even so much the stick. Just stay back, cluck. So you stay tall, you stay back, that little cluck. Good. Again, the 1, 3, 1 again.
So I can't get that stride right
Yeah.
first.
Good. And again. Turn the corner with a strong right leg. Turn the corner a little bit earlier. Good. Give her a pat and let her walk. And so you feel it comes back to that same right leg, her listening to that leg when you ask, when you apply it. So when you turn that corner, she was just like when you were in the warming up, turning and being too close to the wall. So there, as you turn and say, go to the pole, she's turning and just bulging a little, not quite moving off your leg when you ask. Let her catch her breath again. Then you feel all of a sudden, she just put it into gear and it was easy for her again. So once she got through that little bit of stubbornness, then all of a sudden she found a little more energy again. And all of a sudden, oh, the 1 got easy, the 3 was easy. even when she accidentally got 2, she still got 3 between the oxers. The other thing that she does is you feel it's her way of setting up. She's there, her eye, she knows kind of how to set herself up, where to jump. But as she does it, she stiffens a little. And as she stiffens, that's when the hind end loses its ability, its energy. So that's why that leg is important. So as she rocks back, as she sets up, your leg keeps the gas pedal going, keeps the engine running. So it's not a bad thing that how she sets herself up. It's a good thing, but it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of energy out of her. So one more time, jump the single X, and then around the ring, 1, 3, 1. So the second oxer square, the first oxer small. Go ahead. So just turning the corner, just a touch earlier with an outside right leg. Good. As you got a little weak at the pole, what thought crossed your mind? What did you think? Yeah, and so even if it's not quite right there, stay tall and dig in with the leg. Kind of the look on your face, you kind of at the pole and you kind of go, ooh, and then it's weak here. Come around and catch this. So if she senses any weakness, any little bit of give, then she loses that energy. Good, yeah. Give her one more smack and then again. So when she starts stiffening, you sit tall. And again. Good. One more time. Keep her cantering. Good. Eyes and shoulder. Eyes and shoulder. Come through that turn again. Eyes up, shoulder back. She lures you into getting ahead, and that puts her out of balance. So you have to keep yourself up and back with your leg. hold on. Just one little tap there, and again. Go ahead. Just don't let her stand in front of it for too long. That's okay. Give her a pat there. She tried hard. And just give her a loose rein. Let her catch her breath. So it's her brain is totally different when it's like this. She doesn't mind at all, does she? As it gets bigger, then she's, I don't want to make a mistake. How do I do it? And then she gives up a little bit too quick. As soon as we drop it back down, she doesn't even mind if it's perfect or not. She just, she just steps over it. She doesn't even mind if she's 1 or 2 strides there. She still, you can just see the look in her eye and the look on her face when it's that size versus the other size. It's a kind of a jarring, stiff feeling when she digs in, isn't it? So when she's doing that, and it's in that ankle, in that heel, because basically what she's doing when she jars and digs in, her body tenses, and that makes your body want to tip. And so you have to be strong in your stomach, in your back, in your hip, in your heel, so that you can be tight in your leg and stay here even while she's digging in. Because it's just, that's how she sets up. That's how she jumps. And so it's not actually a bad thing, but it affects your upper body, and your upper body affects her balance. So she'll jump anything from, if you're here, she'll try hard and jump from anywhere. Long, short, deep, doesn't matter, she'll try. But if you get a little forward, then she's like, oh, I'm out of balance, oh, it's hard, it's awkward. But I think she was trying pretty hard the first half, and then once she started to get a little tired, then she got a little stubborn. And that's normal, they get a little stubborn. You just dropped it down, built it back up, dropped it down, built it back up. They have to learn how to get fitter and stronger, and so you can get 50 good jumps instead of 25. Because the first half she was very good, and then after, the other thing is as the jumps get bigger, they take a lot more effort. So jumping one bigger jump takes the amount of concentration and effort of 10 little jumps. So one big jump, that's why the Grand Prix horses have to be so fit, because it takes a lot more effort, concentration, coordination to jump big jumps. They could jump all day long doing little jumps, but the bigger the jump, the more their brain has to think, the more their brain and their muscles have to work, then all of a sudden, oh, that was hard work. But she does look, she's getting fitter, getting stronger. And for sure, your leg is much, much better. You can feel the spirals, spiral, lengthen, just getting her body to bend and turn and engage. Because given the chance, she avoids engaging. That where she swaps behind, where she disunites behind, where when you want to come back to the trot, she'll drop that hind lead. So it's just all those little things, same things that they do in the flat work actually happen in the jumping. So little places where she weakens the hind end is no different than when it happened in the jump. But like I say, it was good. It was the first time that we saw her strong and even too strong and even too fast. That's a good thing to have. Once you get to that point, then it's time to start, reeling her back in, and now you can ride quietly. But you have to, and that just comes from her fitness. As she gets fitter and stronger, then all of a sudden, I don't have to push as hard. How hard does it feel like you're pushing now?
At the end, much harder.
What's that?
At the end, when she started, much harder.
Yeah. And so just to get the feeling that halfway through the amount of leg you had, when she listened, you were probably using a comfortable amount of leg. As she got tired, you were using all the leg, carrying her,